But yeah, I was just sitting there thinking, like, what if you just cut out the middleman? You know what I mean? And I say that because I'm like in my 30s now, right? And I hear so many women my age and older, just kind of expressing how hard it is sometimes to find someone, to settle down with, after that career phase or after the divorce and, stuff like that. And a lot of us, surprisingly, don't actually have children. It's a lot of us that do have children, but it's a lot of us that actually don't have children, right? And so I just kind of think like, is it really so bad to just say, hey, you know, here is a good friend of mine. This is somebody I can trust, you know, and just say, hey, would you like to have a baby with me? And you work out this situation how you want to work it out, you know, or if you don't actually want to be in that situation, because there are certain situations that you might not want to be in. You might not want to involve a father. Maybe you just want to be a mother on your own. You can go get a sperm donor. Go get a sperm donor. And it's and it's like really, really frowned upon. Like if you share that information, you know, with anyone who is not close to you, right? They have a tendency to really make you feel bad about, oh well, you can't go find a man, you can't go find a woman, they'll make you feel really, really bad about it. But sometimes, in certain periods of your life, right, you just get tired of dating, you get tired of trying, you know, because, and sometimes, your desires, you want to have that family, you want to have, a man in the household helping you raise a child, and I always say that when God hears you, when you pray to God, the devil hears you too. I always say that. So sometimes what glitters ain't necessarily gold. So you might get that man, he got everything that you want, but he ain't got nothing that you need, and he's probably not a suitable father. You know what I mean? So, it just kind of made me think, like, are there other options here? You know, and there are. I hear, and we see a lot, like on reality TV shows specifically, or on a lot of these reality TV shows where a lot of women are opting for surrogacy, which means they're allowing someone else to have the child for them, and they don't have to do it. Kind of a handmaid's tale situation. Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I take that back. But but they have a person that they trust, a viable candidate, and they ask them to have a child for them, and which is actually a really risky situation sometimes because I think in some states, like if you the surrogacy option, the woman that's pregnant, even if it's your child, they still have rights to that child. So if that woman decides to up and just run off one day with your child in her stomach, she can do that in some states. So it's kind of a risky situation for some people, but it is an option. Then you have the option of like adoption, which I feel like is a good option. I would like to adopt one day. God willing, I can, but I would definitely like to adopt one day. If I'm able to, because you never know how life goes. You never know how life goes. But I would like to adopt one day. Then you have the option of sperm donation. And then when you're asking, you're going and you're looking for a viable candidate of sperm donation, which is not cheap because it's kind of like in vitro. It's not a cheap thing, because everybody doesn't take the first try. You know what I'm saying? First or second try. Sometimes you got to keep going back, and just kind of hope for the best. But it's it's an option. But then you don't have the option of the father or the partner, whoever, you know. And then then I was like, well, a safer option, ideally speaking, because even friendships can get messy with the baby mama, baby daddy drama. you know, realistically speaking. But a safer option to me seemed like, why don't you just ask somebody you trust, like a friend or something that you trust. And so that was my original thought, my original plan. So I said if I ever got to the age of 33 or something like that, and I said, well, and I would like to have a baby with this person, if he was not married as well. Which coincidentally, he's not married, and neither am I. But that was an option for me. And it's really similar to like sperm donation, to be honest, you know, because when you really, really break down that type of dynamic, you it's really an individual situation. Like, what are you really comfortable with? You know what I mean?